proud members of the Dread Central Podcast Network.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, come on, you know I don't watch that shit.
Why not? Too scared?
No, it's just what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
Welcome to Kim and Ted, Still Alive, Maybe. We're a horror movie comedy podcast, and we are going to tell you the entirety of a movie, spoilers and all. I'm Kim Burns.
And I am Ketrin Porter.
Welcome.
Welcome to you as well.
Not you, them.
Oh, I'm not welcome? Okay.
Well, you're fine. No, I love you. Get in here.
Get in here. Yes, welcome to our listeners as well. It is Décembre and Décembre. That's December in French.
Oh, nice.
It's really just
The
December,
best
but you
month of
say
the
it like
year.
a douchebag.
That's how all French is.
Yeah, it's true. It's why
That's
I'm
how
so good at the
teachers
accent.
should teach it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I can do the accent.
Just
Don't know
so you
what
know,
I'm
if
saying.
you ever go get coffee and a croissant with Ketrin, she will order it as a croissant.
That's what it's called. It's called a croissant.
And then
Can I have a croissant roll?
She'll go eat it in her hearth room.
Yeah, you're welcome. Ooh, croissant.
It is, what day is today? It's December
3rd.
No, when this comes out.
That is too much math. I don't know.
No, 5th is Saturday. 5th is my birthday.
Yeah.
6th is Krampusnacht.
And then 7, 8, 9. 9th.
9th, which
December
means we're doing our live show
In
this Saturday.
3 days.
That's 3 for all you non-douchebags.
So sorry
Those
to
who
offend
don't
all our
speak
French
douchebag.
listeners.
Oh, I know. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. That's specific to Ketrin, not to French people.
Right.
But yeah, Saturday, December 12th, 6 p.m.
9 p.m. Eastern. We're very excited. We're
$12.
doing
Links in the show notes. Go to kkcmlive.com. $6 for patrons, free for Laurie Strode's. It's going to be so much fun. I'm really excited. We're going to be jolly and murdery and
festive and
try to stay alive like we do.
Kim, I'm realizing that my brain's not working today. It became apparent in that last sentence. My brain was like, "Ooh, girl, you don't have words. Good luck with that."
That's always good.
So
For
yeah, I'm feeling
talking for 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm feeling like just a little foggy today.
Yeah.
Like as if I have allergies, but I don't. I don't know.
Maybe
Am I allergic?
Do.
But is this allergy time?
100%. I literally
It is.
went. The reason I was late for our sync call on Sunday is because I was like, I must go to CVS right now and grab some allergy medicine because I just went for a run outside. And I was like, my head feels like it's exploding.
Okay, that makes me feel so much better because I never used to get allergies, so I thought allergies were in like the springtime.
I mean, I'm not an allergy scientist either, but like, and I don't really know if I get them or not. I just know that there's certain times of year where I run outside and then like my face and head hurt. So
Okay,
and
well
then
that makes me feel better.
This week put it together that was probably allergies. So really, I'm only a week ahead of you.
Okay, well that makes me feel better because of course I was like, I have COVID.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the problem. I take my temperature constantly, and I'm just like, I think it's something else. But yeah, allergy meds really helped.
Okay, well, good. I was in a mild, low-level panic for the last 3 days, and now I'm not. So great.
I think you're probably good.
I made some elderberry syrup.
Yum.
Seems to be helping. Yeah. And yeah. What else is going on?
I don't know.
with you?
I'm just I was going to say excited for my birthday because that I feel like is my go-to blanket statement, which I guess I usually am. I love Kimberfest and my birthday, but like we're currently like on lockdown. So like not going anywhere. But we're going to do a little virtual game night, and that I think will be fun.
I think it's going to be really fun.
And I'm going to decorate for Christmas on my birthday and wear my penguin onesie and watch Christmas movies. And then I think maybe go to a drive-in on Sunday, which will be fun. And one of my 2020 goals of the year, finally.
Getting it in under the wire.
Whoop, whoop.
Nice work. I still have not gotten mine in, but that's okay. I'm excited you're going to decorate for Christmas. And Santa may have some birthday decorations coming your way just in time.
Oh, perfection. Santa.
Yeah. Eric is very excited about your birthday.
He loves giving presents.
He loves giving
presents. I don't
presents.
think he understands how much that is one of his love languages.
It really is. Like, giving presents is big on his list. Like, I have to, like, tell him multiple times a season, being like birthday season and Christmas season, like, no, you can't give me all of my presents like a month before. You can't do that. That's not fun for me.
Because then the day comes and
I don't have any presents. Yeah. Yeah. The last couple nights I've been like, I want something sweet. And he's like, I'll just go into your stocking. I'm like, that's not fun. But yes, give me
also
yes,
please.
Yes.
I got him a really cool present. It hasn't come yet, but I think it's awesome and I'm excited.
I'm sure he'll be ecstatic. He just likes, you're right. I feel like he just loves gifts, but it's not, when he took the test, that like wasn't
I feel like he needs to like retake it because I'm just like, you know how much you love this, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna make him retake it today, and I'll let everyone know what the results are. And if you guys haven't taken your love language test, I mean, what are you doing with your life?
Highly recommend. It's a great thing to know and like know about your partner or people you're dating and stuff.
Yes, they talk about it a lot on Love Island, which I'm very impressed with.
Do they? I don't remember that.
Yes, it's been brought up no less than 3 times.
Wow.
And it's been like
little bunnies,
dudes being like, "What's your love language?"
Oh,
yeah, cute. and I think now we're gonna get into it. I think Carrington at one point, when he was annoyed with Kirsten, who was just like, "Can you say you love me 400 times a day?" Carrington was like saying to someone else, he was like, "Yeah, her love language is just like very much words of affirmation, and like it's not mine, so it's just not matching up." And I was like, emotional literacy from 20-year-old men? That's very cool.
Yeah. I've literally had people take the test like on our FaceTime dates before.
I love it. What's the other one where we're like, you have to take this?
Attachment
the attached.
styles.
Yeah.
That one's important to me. Although that one I can suss out pretty quickly now. Like I know enough about it now that I can tell usually what people are. But I've had that's only because I've like had them take it and been like confirmed. So now I'm like, okay, I think I can
suss it out. Yeah.
That's
why I liked OkCupid back in the day, because I mean I was on there for the dumb quizzes as much as I was on there to meet somebody.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember those? You didn't like those dumb quizzes?
Them. Of course I didn't.
What do you mean? Of course you didn't. Did you not like take the quizzes in the back of Cosmo when you were a teen?
Yeah, no, I did that. Not Cosmo, but like. I did that.
Not Cosmo. I listened to read Nylon or Jane or one of those cool kid
I read
magazines.
Like Teen whatever or something.
Teen Bop? Tiger Beat?
No. It was a Teen something. Not Teen Vogue.
Teen Vogue.
A little bit of a delay there.
Yeah.
I don't know. 17 magazine. 17 magazine.
Yep, I got it now.
And something else Very like good. That. That's the ones that I did.
Well, this has been our teenage publication reading habits of the 90s. Come back next week where we...
Look, there's a lot of things I did as a teenager that I didn't enjoy doing as an adult anymore. So sorry. I didn't like the OkCupid things.
True. Do you have
stop asking me what my favorite whatever is. I don't have any favorites.
What's happening to my hair?
I got a little
right
Marie
now?
Antoinette style going on.
Ooh, I'm keeping it. I
A
am
little
keeping
buffet.
it. It is a little. It's a bouffant, not a Phoebe buffet.
I knew it wasn't right, but I didn't know what it was. And so I was like, well, I'll just go with it where she'll correct me.
You've got a real Phoebe buffet hairstyle there.
Hey, there was the Rachel.
That's true.
That's the buffet.
Okay, that's weird that you just said that because the episode of the Buffering the Vampire Slayer podcast I was just listening to from like 3 years ago, so it's not even recent, was like, let's talk about the Rachel haircut for 10 minutes. So I have had enough of the Rachel Green haircut conversation for
in
today.
your earballs.
Yeah, I'm over it. Ooh, look at that. It's got a real bounce to it, everybody. Our Patreon. Join our Patreon. You can see my buffet.
Speaking of Patreon, it's the last month to join an annual membership and get 2 months free.
Yes.
Zing! Join us over at patreon.com/giveitgetsyourlife, baby.
Wow, you missed your calling as a morning zoo radio host. Yeah, it's a one-time payment for the whole year, and you get 2 months for free. And we are just always cranking out the bone con over there.
Hey.
Ooh, got a little percussion in there.
We think we're also going to do a thing.
Yes.
Maybe have like a little New Year's Eve party.
Yes.
We're trying to nail down the details, but what we're
Yes.
thinking is basically just have like a Zoom room and keep it open, and people can just like pop in and pop out and say, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
That's most likely how it's going to look. Obviously, we'll release more specific details when we kind of like figure it out. But we're also going to do some giveaways of horror movie Blu-rays to our patrons on there.
Yeah.
So anyone can come hang out with us for New Year's in our Zoom boom room.
Yeah.
Patrons, you should definitely pop in because you might win some Blu-rays.
But even if you're not there, you'll still be entered.
Yeah.
Just for being a patron. But yeah, we'll do like a bunch of giveaways all night. I think that's what we were going to do. We're trying to narrow down the deets, but that seems like a possibility. So
Yeah.
you know,
And
if
we'll
you're
play
going to
some
be
games,
home,
maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking that we could do like Jackbox games so people
Yeah.
can like play or just be in the audience and
Yeah.
stuff.
And I guess, I mean, since we're saying it now, if you guys have any ideas of like fun things to do in a Zoom boom room, so that's what we're gonna do to ring in 2021, baby.
Yeah. So since I guess everyone's staying home, right? So we'll
you
all
should be.
can virtual party together. Yay!
Yeah, I mean, honestly, even not in a pandemic, getting to stay on my couch for New Year's is really my jam.
True. Taking an Uber anywhere in Los Angeles on New Year's Eve is
The worst.
just a fucking nightmare.
Do you remember
A literal nightmare.
the story of friend of a friend who had to take an Uber home from like not that far? Like I feel like it was like maybe Midtown to like, I don't know, Pasadena. So like it's far, but it's in the same, it's still in LA County. Like we're not, whatever. And it was like an $850 Uber.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, that's like what they legit are. Like I didn't go home one year, but I was kind of stranded somewhere a little bit trying to go back and forth between people's houses, but it was like not that far to get to my house, but it was going to be like $300 and I was like, I literally can't do it. Like, can I please sleep on your couch?
Yeah, it's crazy. And I saw like and this was kind of like when Uber was still kind of newish, like it wasn't as ubiquitous as it is now.
Yeah, I think they've like put some rules in place where that can't happen anymore.
Yeah, you can't have like surges that just exponentially raise without any limit or anything like that. but there was another one that was like a girl started a GoFundMe for like her accidental Uber thing. It was like, I really need to pay my rent, but Uber charged me $900. And everyone was like, what a fucking privilege, whatever. I was like, she's not privileged. She was trying to not drive drunk and she got stuck with a $900 bill. Like, pay her rent, please.
It didn't cost that much. Yeah.
So,
any other interesting things for us to talk about? Sometimes I
guess-
forget that we're recording and it's not just us just talking to it.
I 100% do that constantly. Yeah.
Do you want to hear about a movie?
Yes, I do.
Do you know what it is?
I have a guess. Do you want me to say
It is Texas
Texas
Chainsaw Massacre!
Yay! I'm very excited about this. I told Kim when she had this on her list, I was like, there is like a distant drunken memory that I have of having watched this movie, but like it's literally just that's all I have of it. So I was like, you could totally do this movie because there's no way that I will recall any of like the incidentals of it.
I don't physically remember it. So
yeah. I also don't even know if I watched the original or the remake.
Well, that's what I found out.
Really?
I watched the original now, and I
Okay.
thought I'd seen it, but now I'm not sure that I've seen it. But I've definitely
Interesting.
seen some. I think I saw for sure like the Jessica Biel remake one, and then maybe the Matthew McConaughey.
Wait, that
which
wasn't
is kind
the
of
same
its own
one?
different thing anyway.
Wait, Jessica Biel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Matthew McConaughey were two different ones?
Different ones. Yeah.
Okay, well, now I really don't know what I've seen.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you had asked me, I would have said they were in the same one. And if you had asked me to remember something about the Jessica Biel one, I would have been like, her bod looks really hot, and she's in like a white tank top that's tied in a knot in the front. That's it.
There you go.
That's all I got.
Yeah, so I don't know what I saw at this point. So I was like, well, fuck it. Let's do it.
Love it.
So I was also
Massacre.
very excited. The reason Catherine kind of knows is because Thursday when we record is the day we post like the hints for next week's movie. So I got to do the chainsaw sound.
And
as
it
the
was just
hint.
on her face. It was just a selfie on her face of an extended like take of her chainsaw noise, and it made me so happy. I watched it 3 times.
I was so excited to do it because I was like, "Oh, I'll post a chainsaw." And I was like, "No, I'll post a chainsaw."
That was right choice, ma'am. Right choice.
So yeah, I figured you would know then. But this was made in 1974.
Interesting. Great.
Takes place in 1973. So I need that to be in your mindset.
I hear
The
it. I
whole
see it. I
time.
feel it.
We are in 1973. You were in 1973.
Got it. My parents had just met each other.
Oh, cute. Meet cute. Let's see. Definitely some animal horror and talk about it.
Okay.
So just it's meant to be horrific is all I can say.
Got it. Thank you for the warning. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So this was co-written by Kim Hinkel and then co-written by, is it Tobe or Tobe Hooper? Because it's spelled Tobe. But like,
that would
don't
be
you think that could be Toby or Tobe? Tobe.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so here's
Sorry,
where I was
guys.
confused.
I read
thought
this
you were
name a lot, but I'm not sure how to say it.
Well, here's what I thought you were trying to say. Is it Toby or Toby? And I
What was
like,
your answer going to be to that?
I was like, it's Toby, you fucking idiot.
I'm sorry. I thought in douchebag language it would be Toby.
I have always assumed that it's Toby, but now as you're saying it to me, I'm like, oh, I don't have any reason to
Great.
think that.
We're going to say Toby then.
Yeah, great. I'm sure his mom calls him Toby regardless.
Or
Hey,
Tobes.
Toby.
Tobes.
Tobes. Yeah.
So they co-wrote it and then Tobes directed it. And
Cool.
we know him as the director of Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
But obviously this came first. And let me tell you, this one's different than Poltergeist.
I vaguely remember that.
Okay. Dead or alive?
All right.
Jerry.
Jerry!
Jerry!
Alive!
Not our demon friend.
Oh.
But our friend nonetheless. Franklin.
Delano Roosevelt. Dead.
Sally.
Alive.
Kirk.
Kirk. Dead.
Pam.
Alive.
Hitchhiker.
Alive.
Gas station man.
Alive.
Leatherface.
Dead.
Grandpa.
Dead.
Okay.
Okay.
I forgot I need my phone. I took a picture of the beginning because it was a whole fucking Star Wars
Oh.
fucking
The
roly-uppy
roly-uppy words.
screen.
Yep. I knew what you were saying. I was right there with you. Was this around when Star Wars came out? So people were like, we gotta do that roly-uppy text screen.
Couldn't tell you when Star Wars came out, but sure, sounds like it. Seems like this time, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's hate mailing us already.
How do you not know that Star Wars came out in
19.
blah, blah, blah,
82.
blah, 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 blah.
This actually was maybe before Star Wars. And it's just like they didn't do like the into space going off into the distance. It was just like literal just words moving up the
Are
screen.
you fucking telling me that this doesn't take place in space? I'm out.
I'm so sorry. I thought you saw a version of it and that it took place in Texas, but I could see why you thought it was space.
Yeah, I thought it was space Texas.
Yeah. You know what? That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited to tell you this. The film which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths, in particular Sally Hardesty and her invalid brother Franklin. It is all the more tragic in that they were young, but had they lived very, very long lives, they could not have expected, nor would they have wished to see as much of the mad and macabre as they were to see that day. For them, an idyllic summer afternoon drive became a nightmare. The events of that day were to lead to the discovery of one of the most bizarre crimes in the annals of American history, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
In the annals of American history.
You're fine. Is that what you took out of my entire performance?
Yeah.
Rude.
Anal.
Rude.
So sorry. No, I caught all of it.
This bitch.
I caught all of it.
Okay. Then it says August 18th, 1973. We're in the 70s.
Got it.
In space.
Great. Right.
So now it's just a black screen and we hear digging sounds and like dirt being thrown, kind of. Mm-hmm. And it's completely black. It goes on for a while. And then it's just like a flash of like close up of like dead fingernails, basically. Ugh. And then like again, and it's like decomposing looking hands.
Right. Okay.
And then a flash of like a dirty like boot connected to a leg.
Sure.
On the ground.
And the leg is connected to a body that is dead.
One would assume, but I didn't.
Okay.
All I saw was the boot.
Got it.
Area. And then flash of hands decomposing, and then flash of a skull, and then like different parts of the skull that's all like decomposing, and like and then we come upon like a decomposed full body, and a news report starts playing, just the audio of it. And so what we're seeing, okay, well on the news he's saying grave robbery in space. I mean Texas, in a small rural town. There's one of the bodies was placed on a monument. So it's like a decomposed body, like sitting up, like on like a
statue
kind of thing. Yeah. But it's like, and then it has like another skull or head like in its chest.
Oh
it was
God,
gross.
That's
like
I don't like
really
it.
gross. And they're like,
Gross.
a second body was found like on the other side of the cemetery. Dozens of empty crypts. Some of them just the parts were removed. Others were left intact. And it appears that these robberies happened over time and they have no suspects.
Jeez.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the news report keeps going as the credits go. And they're talking about fucking cholera somewhere and like violence and suicide and some like TV blackout. And I wrote full moon, but turned out it was a full sun. Because it was daytime. So
As opposed, yeah, okay.
I don't
Oh,
know.
I see what you're saying. Got
it
it.
was just a close-up of the sun.
Got it. But why did you think it was?
I don't know. I just thought, like, why did I think it was the moon?
Because you definitely thought it was the moon. Because no one writes like full sun. It's a full sun today.
I wrote full moon.
Right. Okay.
Well, it's a close-up of something in space.
There you go.
Full
Space
circle.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
And then we go to like a roadkill, like armadillo
Oh.
on the road, and a kind of like VW sort of van. It wasn't VW, but pulls up to the side of the road, kind of like on the side of the freeway. The news report is playing this entire time. And I haven't listened to the news in so damn long that I was literally like, shush, stop.
That's so funny.
Stop
This news is
telling
past.
me all of these horrible things.
The only way that I listen to the news now is through Leslie Jones's Instagram.
Nice.
Because she just points it at the TV and yells funny things. And I'm like, I'll do this.
Yeah, I mean, it went on for a very long time, this fucking news report. And I was just like, quiet. So anyway, so the van pulls to the side of the road, and clearly, like, that's where the news report is coming from. And the back door slides open, or the side back door. Mm-hmm. And like a shaggy hair guy comes out, and he immediately starts putting down like a wheelchair ramp off of it. And so a guy in a wheelchair comes out, and they hand him a like an empty coffee tin. And so he's like going into the brush to like pee basically. Mm-hmm. The news is still playing, and then like on the freeway, like this big giant like truck. What do they call them? How many wheelers?
18-wheeler?
Right? I was
60?
just in my brain. I just kept saying a number and wheelers, but I was like, wait, what number wheelers
18
is it?
sounds like too many wheels. There can't be 18.
I mean, to be real,
wheels
I
on the
thought
truck.
18 as well, but it also seemed like a lot. But I think it's 18-wheeler.
There's
Why have
18
we not used
wheels?
the word 18-wheeler in a long time?
It's because we don't call it that. On the East Coast, we call it like a semi or like something else. How many wheels are on an 18-wheeler? I mean, how many...
How many wheels are on an 18-wheeler? Ketcher's Googling that right now. I wonder what the answer to that exact question will be.
18 wheels.
Shocking.
Who'd thunk it?
Shocking.
That is so many fucking wheels.
18 wheels. I
That
guess
is
that
so many
tracks,
fucking wheels.
though, because that's on each
9
side.
and
So
9.
9 on each side. So it's like 3, 3, 3.
Okay.
Whatever. Why have we been talking about this truck for so long? It doesn't even matter. I'm half a page into this movie. I spent 5 minutes on what to call a big truck. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
The 87 wheel truck drives by. But it like flies by and like right next to them, so it kind of like blows at them. So he actually, Franklin is the guy in the wheelchair, and he like falls down the hill in front of him and like rolls out of the wheelchair.
Oh no, buddy.
And they're all like, Franklin, and shaggy hair runs down. So now we're back in the van. He's in, we picked him up. and he's complaining about how hot it is. So basically the people in the van, the driver is Jerry, our friend Jerry.
Is that Shaggy? That's not
no.
Shaggy. Okay.
So he's driving, and he is in a relationship with Sally, who's like long blonde hair and is like sitting in the front seat, I think, right now.
Okay.
And then Pam and Shaggy are a couple as well.
Okay.
And so Pam is really into like astrology. So she's like sitting up front, like reading like a zodiac astrology book to them. And she's talking about malefic planets that are in retrograde. And Saturn is a malefic planet. When they're in retrograde, their like badness is like increased. And so Saturn is like extra bad right now.
Okay.
And they pull up to a cemetery daytime. Lots of people are there though. And there's a weird like guy sitting on a tire who's like drunk and drinking. And Sally gets out of the van. 1974, definitely not wearing a bra.
Sure.
The whole time.
Sure.
And honestly, like, well, I don't want to do that actually. I was going to be like, bring back the nipple. Do it. Let's do it. But like, honestly, I don't sit around my own house without a bra. And I really like something to keep them up.
But I like
These
the idea that
hands.
Kim wears skeleton hands as a bra. But here's what I do like. I like the idea of like, you would like to wear a bra because it's comfortable for you.
Yes.
Like, I would like it to not be that I'm required to wear a bra. Do you know what I'm saying?
That
because,
I think is what I am saying too, because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because
whereas like I
it's a lot to carry
rarely
around.
do. I rarely enjoy wearing a bra. So
yeah. Well, she is definitely not wearing a bra and has nipples showing the whole movie.
Great. Cool.
So that's a thing. And basically she gets out and asks like some of the guys, like she's looking for her granddaddy's grave. This is like the cemetery where the bodies have been stolen. So like I think that's why people are there to make sure it's not like their loved ones
that were
grave that's been
exhumed.
robbed. So, and then some fucking like the guys she's talking to, like sitting on a truck, are like, go over there, talk to the sheriff guy or whatever, he'll help you. And then some fucking creepy guy just comes over and is like, come on, I'll help you. Come on, little lady. And I was like, ew.
No, thank you.
Gross. But she goes with him. And I was like, ugh, the 70s.
Right. Aren't you so glad
Blorf.
we didn't, like, literally, this is the only acceptable time period that I wouldn't have been burned at the stake.
There's like equally a lot of like freeness and like this is like, you know, 60s, 70s, like, you know, when people are like getting some civil rights and things, you know, but
they were still like fighting really hard for it.
Right.
And they were still like the legislation.
we still are today.
Right.
So
Yeah.
talk to me in 50 years.
Okay.
So, and then like the drunk guy is just like, kind of like, oh, things happen here. I see things, and is all like laughing and stuff. But like Franklin is like, oh, okay. So now we're back in the van driving again. And Sally is telling Franklin that the grave is fine, blah, 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 blah. So they're brother and sister.
Okay. And it's their grandpa that they were.
Their grandpa's grave that they were looking for. So they're all driving in the van. Jerry's driving. They're all sitting in the van. It's driving. And something like a bad smell starts to happen. And they're all like, oh my God, like, what is that? Like, oh. And it turns out Franklin is like, oh, that's the slaughterhouse up there.
Oh, bummer.
And Franklin is all like, oh, that's where Grandpa used to like sell his cattle. And then he starts going into like how they used to kill cattle. And he's like, you know, they would bash them in the head with a big sledgehammer, but they don't have to kill them in the first hit. So they'd have to hit them 2 to 3 times. And he goes like on and on and on and on. And Pam, our friend, is like, people shouldn't kill animals for food.
Correct.
And Franklin is like, well, now they use an air gun. And he's just like, boom, 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 boom. And they're all like, Franklin,
You're
stop.
a creep. Yeah.
And then he's complaining about how hot and like sweaty it is. Like, it's definitely fucking like Texas in August.
Texas heat. Yeah. Texas space heat.
Yeah, you know that Texas space heat.
Oh, I do.
So Franklin pulls out a little like Swiss Army knife and starts like cleaning his nails or something.
Franklin is creeping me out. I'm not a huge fan.
He's quirky.
Yeah.
He's a little quirky.
Like if he showed up first at my party, I'd be bummed. Like I know you're invited because like you're Sally's brother, but like, you know, maybe be fashionably late. Oh, hi Franklin, you're here.
Hi.
I'm still setting up.
Here,
You can just
early.
sit in the living room.
He's like, cool. I'll just clean my nails with this knife. Thank you. I love your shirt and no bra. So boo 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 boo. What am I saying? Oh, and then they see up ahead is a hitchhiker. Again, it's the fucking 70s.
70s, yeah.
So they're like, oh my God, we should pick him up. And then they kind of start
The
like
Uber
talking
of the
about
70s.
it. Yeah. Jesus. That sure wouldn't have cost $900.
Right?
So they kind of like are like, oh my God, it's like they're going to get like heat stroke out there. You know what I mean? But then someone else is like, yeah, but they probably smell like the slaughterhouse or something, you know?
Yeah.
So question number 1, what do they decide to do? What do you decide to do?
I think they pick him up. I barely like making small talk with my friends. The last thing I want to do is like make small talk in a car with a smelly hitchhiking stranger. So I'm going to say no, thank you. And I'm going to drive by going, we're full.
She's just going to leave people out to die in heat space.
Just send my rocket right
What
down
a
the
monster.
road. Yep.
Just kidding. I hate small talk. It's
I know.
really... is there something I hate more than small talk? I don't know.
Yeah, and like in a car, you can't be like, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom.
Nightmare. Speaking of Uber, I'm like, don't talk to
Talk
me.
to me. Yeah.
Don't do
not.
it. So anyway, yeah, they pick him up.
Great.
So now all of our kids are like at the front of the van area.
Okay.
So they're all like crowded together looking back. And then it's just the hitchhiker guy by himself sitting in the back.
Okay.
There's not really seats or anything.
It's like my Ford Windstar from college.
When you used to we would just roll around in the back. It feels more like that.
I just took all the back seats out, put some glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling, and headed to Taco Bell.
You would think that some magic happened in there. Spoiler alert, it didn't.
It did not. No magic happened in my Ford Windstar.
Just the way you're describing it. You're like, and that's the shaggin' wagon of my college days. No,
I invited people to the Shaggin' Wagon. They never came.
The hitchhiker is a little weird. Like when you thought Franklin was weird, like you really don't want the hitchhiker to show up first to your party. Like I don't know if you want the hitchhiker to come to your party at all. To be honest, like because he's that guy that starts creeping everyone else out and making everyone else leave. He's like you know what he is? He's the last person at the party that won't go away.
Oh, I hate that guy more. I hate that guy more.
Okay, we're gonna go to bed now. If you could just goodbye. Goodbye. And yeah, he's already scared everyone else away.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just like a little off, and he has kind of like chin length, kind of like greasy dark hair, and he has like a big like wine stain birthmark.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like from like his eye down to his chin-ish, like on the side of his face. And so anyway, they kind of like Shaggy's pretty personable, and he's kind of, you know, trying to be like they're all just kind of being like, oh, like what are you, where are you going, you know? And he's like, oh, I'm headed south. And they were like I guess he said he was like at the slaughterhouse or something, but like they were asking if he worked there, but like he was like, no, I was there, but my brother used to work there, and my grandpa. My grandpa, not my grandma.
Got it.
And he's like, all of my family's in meat.
In meat.
So Franklin is interested in this, obviously, because then he starts asking. Meat. Was one of his top interests.
Yeah. Gross.
Meat.
Fucking creep. We got to put first guy at the party and last guy at the party in a closet somewhere, because...
No, well, they are the two that start talking it up. Like, and eventually, like, everyone else is just staring, watching, and it's just Franklin and Hitchhiker talking.
Yeah. So
Franklin, like, is, and obviously Franklin is in a chair. Everyone else is kind of sitting on the ground and stuff.
Right.
So Franklin is like, oh, cool. Like, have you ever been in, like, the slaughter room? And then starts asking about, like, the air gun and stuff like that. And Hitchhiker's like, oh, no. Like the sledgehammer's better. The old ways, the old ways, the good way. And he's just like, the new way is puts people out of jobs. Mm-hmm. And then he has like 2 things around his neck. I think he's carrying like a little burps map.
Okay.
I don't know, that's his MERS basically. And then he's got a big camera around his neck and like a little satchel sort of thing around his neck.
So we have a satchel and a burps map.
Yeah. He's got a lot of things to hold.
Yeah. All right.
So in his satchel, he keeps his most important things, which he immediately pulls out and like hands them to Franklin. And it's like Polaroids of dead cows.
No.
And he's all like, I was the killer. And he gets like real excited. And then he starts talking about like head cheese and how that is made and describing it in detail. And I was like,
did you just say head
cheese?
I've heard head cheese before. Is it literally from the head?
Mm-hmm.
Is it brains?
It is brains. But he described it as like everything from the head. Like they like scrape off all of the insides.
Cool.
So the kids are all like looking at the picture. I say kids, I don't know how old these people are. You know, it's 1970s movies where I'm just like, they could be 16, they could be 35. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I think age was a construct back then, Kim. Why are you so concerned with ages?
I'm so sorry.
We're all 100 and babies all at once.
You're so fucking right. I was being ageist.
We're 100-year-old babies floating around in space.
Hashtag the 70s.
Yeah.
So Franklin is like still talking to him about, I don't even know, head cheese and cows and shit. And Shaggy's like, okay, like you're like making everybody sick, like stop, you know? Yeah. So Franklin's like cleaning his nails again with his little knife, and then Hitchhiker like grabs the knife out of his hand, and he's all just holding it in front of his face with like the biggest smile on his face, just like really excited. And then the Hitchhiker holds out his own other hand and cuts like a very deeply just like into his palm, like right around like the little line in your hand right there.
Okay.
And they are all just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Space party's canceled, everybody. Sorry. Everybody head home. There's a fire. Goodbye.
And he's just laughing. They're horrified. And he just gives Franklin back the bloody knife. And then he's all sitting there and he gets real excited and he reaches in his sock and pulls out like his own little switchblade knife and is like, I've got a knife, and like is like just showing it to them, and they're all like, okay,
with his blood spurting everywhere from his hand.
His hand's just like dripping down his arm now, the blood. Yeah,
cool. Right.
Yeah, he's keeping it to himself mostly.
Sure.
And then he just kind of like laughs and puts his knife away again. Like, he's having the best time. He's not like you know.
Yeah, he's having a great time at my party.
Yeah, he loves your party. He's like,
pass
this
the head cheese,
Space
please.
Texas party is my jam.
Love it.
Pass the head cheese. Blorf.
The head cheese platter. I have a cheese platter.
So then he picks up his camera. And it's like one of those ones you kind of have to pull the front out a little bit. And then starts like holding around, looking at everyone, and then takes a picture of Franklin.
Okay.
And I guess this is an old school Polaroid. I don't know when Polaroid started. I can postmortem that.
Oh, I thought it was the 80s, but yeah, let's postmortem it.
Because basically, I don't know if this would be considered a Polaroid, but he like takes the whole thing off, or takes like a whole big sheet of something off and like puts it to the side and like lets it cook for a little, you know. And then eventually like pulls a piece off of it, and then it's a picture. So like it seems like an old school Polaroid.
Yeah, that's very high tech. That's space age shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I've literally never heard of that.
I was like, oh, interesting. But yeah, I'll postmortem that. And then he kind of starts asking, like, if he's like, if they'll take him to his house. He's like, it's just like right down the road here. So question number 2.
No.
What do you do?
No.
What do they do?
I am so sorry, Mr. Hitchhiker. Which direction is your house? Oh, shoot. We're going exactly the opposite direction. So why don't you just get out here? Bye. Tuck and roll, buddy. Not going to your house.
Damn.
So are they, how much civilization
We're
is
in
around?
farmland.
Okay.
I would say 0.
And like, where were they? Was their trip to go to their grandpa's cemetery, or was that like a stop on the way?
Yes, and then I don't know if I know this at the time, but I'll tell you, like they're also going to like their grandpa's like old house, basically.
Okay. So what I think I would actually do is say, I'm so sorry I can't take you that far, but I'll drop you at like the nearest gas station. Like, cause I don't want to like, I already picked him up. I don't want to like leave him on the side of the road, but like, I also don't want to go to this guy's house. So I'll say like, I'll leave you, you know, at the general store or whatever the fuck. I think I feel like it's weird if they just like go to his house. I think they maybe go to like a gas station or something too.
That's 2 half points.
Okay. Because I feel like you always see like in movies where it's like, hey, where you headed, partner? And he's like, I'm going to Las Vegas. And he's like, I'll take you as far as blah, blah, blah. Like, I've never seen somebody drop a hitchhiker off like at their house.
Well, he was like, it's just up the road, basically. But they were like, oh, we're in a hurry.
Yeah.
we're so sorry. We're in a hurry. We got to get to, we're going to go to.
Yeah.
What?
We're going to go to wherever your house isn't. We're going to go there. Yeah.
You're uninvited. So now he like unpeels the Polaroid or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And hands it to Franklin. And he's like, it's a nice picture. Okay, give me money now, $2.
What?
And Franklin's like, no, and like gives it back to him. And so then Hitchhiker is like, okay. And so he pulls something out of his little satchel. It's like a little piece of tinfoil that he like rolls out on the ground, and he puts the Polaroid on top of it. And then he pulls out some like little like black powder or something and puts it on the picture and then lights it on fire.
Sir.
They all scream.
Wow. This guy is what we call a loose cannon.
They're like, what the fuck? And then he just kind of like folds the fire all up into the little tin foil and puts it back in his pocket. And then he pulls out his knife and he grabs Franklin's arm and like cuts his arm.
Oh no. This is why you don't pick up hitchhikers.
I know.
Sorry.
70s.
Yeah.
Question number 3, what do you do? What do they do?
Okay, so he just sliced Franklin.
Yeah, but in like the happiest way you could imagine.
Sure, he's loving it. Yeah. I think we're both going to open up that sliding door and push him out hand in hand. Ah, yay!
Goodbye!
Way to be proactive, 70s people.
They fucking pull over and like push him out the door and like close the door. But as they start to pull off, he's kind of like running after them. So he starts like putting like blood like on the
window or
side of the van.
Okay.
Like he's kind of like drawing something almost and like just running and blowing raspberries at them. Like he's just like,
oh my God.
and like yelling and waving and stuff, but mostly raspberries and blood on the van.
That was my impression. Was it good?
Yeah, that was it. That's what he's doing.
I wouldn't have stopped. I would have just opened the door while we were still going at full speed.
Yeah, they were kind. So
yeah. The implication being that I'm not.
That wasn't even meant to be an insult to you.
Yeah, they're nice, like decent human beings. So nothing you would know about.
That was like an unknowingly burn.
Yeah, it was. Owies.
But they're all like, Jerry's like, last hitchhiker I ever pick up.
Sure.
So Sally like goes into the back of the van to like help Franklin's arm or whatever. Cut to later, still driving. And now Pam is like reading other people's horoscopes. So she's like, oh, this is Franklin's horoscope. Travel in the country and upsetting persons around you. Disturbing and unpredictable day. Events in the world not doing much to cheer one up.
That's not a great
one. Okay, now read Sally's. She's a Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
shoot.
There are moments when we cannot believe that what is happening is really true. Pinch yourself and find out that it is.
Great. All of us in 2020 pinching ourselves over and over again.
Saturn. Saturn. So now we pull up to a gas station. And there's like a redheaded guy sitting out front, and he's just like sitting there, like staring, looking at the sun. The girls both get out, very 70s, because then Pam is wearing a shirt that's like only on the front with like a halter or something. So like from the back, she just looks like she's topless. With like little shorts on.
Sure.
They were both very cute outfits, not gonna lie. Like I was like, cute. And then Sally has like, it's like a purple tank top. And then, like, huge, of course, like, bell-bottoms, but, like, white.
Cute.
Like, bright white bell-bottoms.
Ooh, that would be a fun Halloween costume.
Ooh. Ooh. Let's be Sally and Pam.
I love it. That's a great idea.
Fun. Okay. So, Redhead kind of just goes to the front of the van and starts washing it pretty much. And then gas station man comes out, like clearly like the main gas station man. Mm-hmm. Redhead's just like the helper or something. And gas station man is like, hey, we've got no gas. And they're like, what?
Sir,
like,
you are a station of said gas.
He said the tanks are empty. The tanker should be here later today or tomorrow morning. And Franklin starts asking, like, hey, do you know where the old Franklin place is? And gas station man is kind of like, maybe I've seen it, but, you know, those old houses around here, they're dangerous. And, you know, some folks don't like strangers on their property, and they're not afraid to show it.
To shoot them. Okay.
And Franklin's like, oh, no, well, my father owns it.
Okay.
So, yeah, basically, but it's like, I was confused at this moment because I was like, so if your father owns it, why don't you know where it is?
Right.
But I think it's their grandpa's like old place. So technically their father owns it. But so gas station man is like, hey, we make fresh barbecue inside. Like, why don't you just like hang out here until the tanker comes? And question number 4, what do you do? What do they do?
Well, those are two very different things. Either the tanker is coming later this afternoon or tomorrow morning. So my question is, are we out of gas?
No. I don't think you have like a ton. I mean, you wanted to stop and get gas, but like you weren't, you drove into the gas station, which requires gas.
Right. I just meant like,
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
because you're a bitch. Okay. I think I want to ask if there is a hotel nearby. And we will go there. Like an establishment that accepts currency and has a lock on the door. And then it doesn't really matter like when it gets there. Maybe but I'm gonna have some barbecue with them first, like I'm just to like ingratiate myself, you know, make them think like I'm one of the locals. But I'm gonna go stay in a hotel. 'Cause what the fuck? I think they wait at the gas station hoping it comes soon.
Half point for you.
Okay.
They, at this point, the girls come back, I guess, from the bathroom or something, and they're like getting Cokes at the machine. And the boys, so it's just the boys like in the van, and they're like, oh, we should ask if there's like another gas station nearby. So Jerry goes in to ask. And now just in the van, it's just Franklin and Shaggy. And Franklin's like playing with the fucking knife again.
Franklin, you're a creep.
He's like, do you think this is that guy's blood on here? And he's like all looking at it, and he's like, this is blood. Look at it. And he like gives it to Shaggy and stuff. Like, it's gross.
Franklin, you are definitely here because you're Sally's brother. Okay.
Yeah. That's why you were invited to the party.
Yeah.
And he's all talking about like could you cut yourself with like a knife, like the way that guy did, you know what I mean? And kind of all like looking at his hand and stuff, and just saying that like takes something to be able to do that. And I was like, ugh.
Franklin, you're a creep.
And Shaggy's like, Franklin, you're crazier than he was. So Jerry comes back out, and he like got some little barbecue to go, like a little bag of it. And I guess he said that Newt's is the closest place for gas, which I guess is far.
Okay.
I don't know how I'm supposed to know anything about that, but they seemed like, oh man, kind of about it.
Oh, okay.
But they were like, okay, well, let's just go to Grandpa's place because that should be nearby.
Okay.
And as they're all getting back in the van, Sally kind of notices like the mark that's on the side in blood, and like stares at it a little bit. But she gets in, and they all drive away.
Okay.
And Franklin is cleaning his nails again. Gosh, he is with his bloody, dirty knife.
Gross.
And Sally asks for the knife, so she takes it from him. I think to cut the barbecue, which like I can't even.
The
start
hygiene
on that.
situations here are really concerning.
Can't even get into that situation.
No.
She doesn't say specifically, and I don't see specifically, but I think that's what it's for. So they're eating some barbecue, and the van stops in front of this like old house that looks like very dilapidated, and it has like vegetation like overgrown all over it, sort of thing. And so they pull in up to that, and they all get out and start now looking at the blood mark on the side of the van. And they talk about how it looks like he was like trying to write something or make a mark. And so I took a picture for you. So it looks like that.
Okay. I see it. Mm-hmm.
And Franklin, of course, is soups into it.
Sure.
And he's all like, do you think that guy will follow us? Like, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And so the other ones go inside and he just stays staring at the thing. So inside, Sally is showing like a room she stayed in once. So it sounds like they didn't go there a lot. Basically, she was like, oh, this was my room. I stayed here once when grandma died.
Okay.
When I was like 8 or something.
Yeah.
So, but they're like having the best. This whole time, it's just like the girls inside laughing very loudly. Like, it's just like, they're having the best time.
Great Foley laugh.
So wherever you go, wherever people are, you just hear them laughing.
You're laughing.
So Shaggy's looking around somewhere else, and he goes like outside somewhere, and like, ew, I don't even know, saw a bunch of bugs that reminded me of Aunt Coachella, and I was like, no, go away. I don't even know what it was. It was yucky.
You have so much PTSD.
I do.
Because you used to like, you weren't like, come on over bugs, but you also were just like, you were neither here nor there about bugs. Now you're like, anti-bug.
I didn't like freak out.
Yeah.
And I freak out the most about ants more than
Which
any
are-
other bug.
Which are the most prevalent and the least threatening.
And now they're the most terrifying to me. So, like they're laughing about like the old wallpaper that's in there and stuff like that. And Franklin is now still downstairs, like outside. And mind you, the house is like dilapidated, like just falling apart, like, you know. And Franklin this whole time, like since barbecue started, has just had like a piece of sauce, like a sausage cigar in his mouth, basically.
I do not like Franklin. I'm sorry. I don't like him. I find him divisive. I don't want him at my party. I don't want his sausage cigars. I'm not a fan of Franklin. I know he's your brother, Sally, but he makes it weird, okay?
And so he's like yelling, because again, he's in a wheelchair, so he's like trying to get in. He's kind of like stuck at one of the kitchen spaces. He's like stuck at like the front doorway that doesn't even have like a door anymore, trying to get in, and we just hear like them laughing. And finally he kind of like wheels into like down below the stairs at the bottom of the steps, and he's just like mocking them, where he's just like and then he blows some raspberries. I guess that was real big in the 70s. Huge insult.
I'm just going to start doing that whenever I'm upset about anything. Let's bring it back.
Spit all over myself.
Let's bring it back, honestly.
So at this point, Shaggy and Pam come downstairs, and they're like, hey, Franklin, didn't you say there was like a swimming hole around here? And he's like, yeah, it's out back, like down the trail through those, like behind those 2 sheds out back, basically. So they go, and they're like, okay, we'll be back in like an hour or so. And then Franklin's like looking around, and he sees like on the ground like a dead something, but it kind of seems like a skull of something with like feathers, like that maybe was put together that way. It was hard to tell a little bit. And then he like looks up, and hanging from a doorway is like a couple like bones.
Okay.
In like a, you know, decorative,
festive way.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
They were preparing for the Space Texas party.
Yeah, exactly.
So he sees that, and he's like, Sally! And cut to outside. Shaggy and Pam are like running through the brush. Like it's very it's like farmland, but it's all yellow. Does that make sense?
Farmland, but it's all yellow.
Like it's like deadness, basically.
Okay. Sure.
Like it's all dry pieces of just
as
dead
if there was
grass and things.
Perhaps a space drought.
Drought, if you will. Yes. Okay. Because it's so fucking hot.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just all openness and dryness.
Okay.
Death. You know.
And Franklin.
Space.
Yeah.
So they're running, but they have like a couple blankets with them from the van that they're going to be sitting on or whatever. So they're kind of like flying them in the wind. And they get to like the bottom. I can't tell. It doesn't matter. I was going to say something. It's so unimportant to the story. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's just like, they're like, oh, this must be it. They were looking for a swimming hole. Never do we see water.
Oh.
They just get to like the bottom of a dry hill into the driest land that's dry. And they're like, this must be it. They just stop. And I was like, okay, great, whatever. But in the distance, Shaggy sees a house, another house. And he immediately thinks, I was going to ask this as a question, but I was like, there's no rhyme or reason why you would ever think this or guess this. So I'll just tell you.
Oh, I'm very curious.
He's like, gasoline. And starts to walk towards the house.
He thinks the house has gasoline.
I mean, it is like a farmhouse. Like, it's farmsies. So
maybe they have like, okay.
I think
maybe
it
they
is
have
more believable that.
Like, maybe for your tractor, maybe you have one of those red things. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll give it to him. But yeah, I never would have guessed that.
And yeah.
I would have been like, where's the attendant?
Right. And he's like, as they're walking towards it, like, oh, like I can like leave my guitar with them to and use their gas. I think then maybe bring gas back to them and get
so like he's using his
money.
Guitar as collateral.
Yes, something like that. I don't. He's got a whole plan, and I didn't understand that the entire time. So
okay.
Something with his guitar and money, and they'll go back and forth. It's whatever. So they're walking to the house, and there's definitely like as they get closer, like a noise that's happening, like an electrical kind of sound noise, like something like an engine running kind of noise.
Oh, okay.
And they walk by like this tree that's, of course, just dead with like tin cups hanging from it and stuff like that. Like that's just like the land that we are in. Mm-hmm. And so they go towards the house, and like on the side of it is this area that's covered in like netting and has like some plants and stuff on top of that, like kind of covering it. And he looks in, and it's like a ton of cars in there.
Okay.
They're all covered. And he's like, look, which again would make me assume they have some fucking gas, hopefully.
And they're fucking cars.
Yeah. They got something to help us.
Yeah.
And then we see next to the house is a generator, and that's what's making the noise. Like as they get closer, it's like so fucking loud. So Shaggy's like yelling to the house, like, hello, anyone in there? But it's like all we hear is the generator. We can barely even hear him.
Okay.
And it's this big white farmhouse. So they go around to the other side where there's a big like kind of front porch, and they go up on the porch, and Shaggy knocks on the door. No answer. Pam's kind of like sitting down on the steps, and he's to our patron Sammy's, we have like a group text, and it fucking comes to our computers. I wish it didn't, because it like always distracts me. But there was like something,
and your
about,
name
like,
was in
Kim.
this one.
Yeah,
so
and I was like, we both were. It was like, I don't know, but Kim was really committed to that. And I was like, what? What was I committed to?
What was she committed to?
Can't wait to find out.
Yeah. Neither of us were listening to Kim's story, and Kim was telling it.
So true. Yeah. So Pam is just sitting down on the steps. Shaggy's knocking on the door, and he kicks something, and it's a tooth.
No.
Nope. So he hangs his little blanket like on the porch railing, and then he kind of like goes over to Pam, and he's like, hey, I got something for you. and hands.
It better not be a tooth.
Puts the tooth in her hand. Eric's so excited to give you presents. We just talked about that. It's his love language. He's like, I have something I'm really excited to give you.
Quit handing me teeth.
Ketrin just rages at him about teeth.
If Eric gives me a fucking rap tooth, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I told you about my friend, right, who has like her engagement ring is her fiance's tooth in her ring.
Yeah. I don't love it. Like,
it's not for me. I think it's
like
cool,
you do you, girl, but
totally not for me.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
And so yeah, he gives it to hers and she's like, ow, and like throws it as like a joke.
Yeah.
He goes back and now opens like it's like one of those ones that has like a screen door and then like the main door. So he opens the screen door and knocks on the other door, and that door kind of just slowly opens. Like it was just kind of open, and he's like, hello.
Okay.
Nothing again. Question number 5, what do you do? What does he do?
I think I'm still trying, like, is he still trying to get gas? Like, is that what okay.
Gotta get gas.
Okay.
Need that gas.
I'm not going to. I'm going to wait until the gas truck gets here, and I'm going to go back to Grandpa's house. You're
going to go back to Grandpa's house.
Yeah, I don't need to be a part of this whole thing. Nobody's home. I mean, and that's genuine. Like, Texas, I would never walk. Well, I'm just saying, like, I know the laws in
all
Texas.
The times you're not genuine.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I'm very much thinking about, like, I would never walk into a random house in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a
when
good
it's
point.
like, I'm a trespasser
Great
and
point.
You're most likely armed. Like,
Yeah.
I would just never do
lots
that.
of guns.
Yeah. So I'm going back to Grandpa's house. Do they go in? That seems insane, but we're in a 70s horror movie, so here we go. Yeah.
Double ding.
Yeah.
So Pam is not interested in
Sure.
Shaggy's plan. So she actually, there's like a little swing, like wooden swing, not on the porch, but kind of down in the front yard. So she goes and like sits in that. Shaggy is like, hello, anybody home? And so what we see on the inside, right in front of the doorway on the right, is a big wooden stairwell to upstairs.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And in front of us is a doorway. And we can see through that and it has like a little wall right behind the doorway. And the wall has just covered with like skulls of animals and, you know, little heads of animals and things like that. Like, but like hangy, decorative-y ways.
Sure. Yeah.
Not my style. Yes. Exactly.
But I
like,
hear you.
You know what I mean? Like it's it's like
a choice.
It's a red painted wall. What's that called? It's an
accent wall.
Yeah, so it's like a red painted wall
Sure.
with some decorative skulls.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's kind of like a little like ramp that goes kind of like it would just be one step, but it's just kind of like a little ramp that goes into that doorway. And then like to the left would be like an opening into like more of the house, but we can't really see that now.
This is so weird because I had deja vu in my mind as you were describing the porch, the screen door, the door and the staircase, and then it stopped at the red accent wall. Isn't that weird? Like that I would remember like the most inconsequential parts of this shot. And then you're like, that's weird. Anyway, our brains are cool.
I mean, yeah. It's also like a classic, I think, like old farmhouse sort of thing.
Yeah.
This is probably in some other movies we've seen sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
I just haven't had
feels
deja vu.
familiar.
I haven't had deja vu of this movie until right now. So.
Weird. Well, hopefully you won't remember anything else.
I don't think if I didn't remember the fucking red accent wall with skulls on it, I think we're good.
And we can kind of hear noises inside that sound like, to me, like piggy noises slightly.
Oh, no.
Or just some type of, I don't know, they sound animal-ish.
Okay.
And so Shaggy goes in. And he just walks forward and he's like, hello. And he starts to kind of like walk up the little ramp thing and like trips a little bit and falls. Leatherface comes there with a sledge in his hand and hits him over the head.
Already? Wait, what?
Shaggy falls to the ground and starts like convulsing. His entire body is like, so then
I hate what you just said to me.
Leatherface hits him again. And then that doorway that's right in front of the red accent wall, he like slams a sliding door shut that's like a metal door.
That's like what he said about the pigs with the sledgehammer having to hit them twice.
Exactly. You're getting it.
Not the pigs. The cows.
Yeah. See? That's why I was like, I have to tell her certain things.
Yeah. Oh my God, the idea of the cows twitching after they're hit. I don't care about I don't care about the people.
Obviously, we know this about you.
It shocks me sometimes that you just described a human getting hit, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to apply that to the cows. Like, I just...
Yep. So, anyway, but yeah, Leatherface, you know him.
What's up, bud?
Wears a tie with an apron over it.
Sure.
Black shaggy hair, leather for face.
Yeah.
Which I think is skin for face, probably.
Skin for face? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, skin for face.
Yeah. So cut to Pam outside, like on the swing, being like
Shaggy?
she didn't really, I don't know that she like heard anything or anything. Like it was just more like Shaggy's inside and like hasn't come back out. So she's like, hello?
Yeah.
Question number 6, what does she do? What do you do?
Ugh, this one is hard because it's like I'm in a horror movie and I know I'm in a horror movie.
Right. But she doesn't.
Right. So I guess I'll say for her, she goes in to look for him. I'll give a realistic answer that like I'm going to maybe like stand up on the porch and just kind of like yell for him, you know, like, but not go in. And then if he doesn't answer for a while, I can honestly say I'd probably like go and get help, like from at the very least my friends. But I still just don't think I would like walk in.
Point for her.
Okay.
She looks inside. It's the 70s.
Sure.
And she immediately goes in, so that metal door is like closed, so she can't see the fancy accent wall. So she goes to the left now, and there's like another room that has kind of like a curtain drawn over it, and she's starting to hear like some noises. So she's like, Shaggy? Like, Shaggy.
Okay.
And so she like pulls the curtain and kind of like trips into this room. It's like the front sunroom or something.
Shit.
And she falls into a pile of like feathers and bones.
No thanks.
And there's like a chicken in a cage that's hanging up in like a bird cage. And then we have like a 5-minute shot, I feel like, of just like every single close up of every single thing in this room, which is just like all kinds of bones, all kinds of teeth.
Also not our aesthetic is what you're saying.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Consistently not our aesthetic is this home.
Right. Okay.
And then there's like a bench chair that has like arm bones on the arms of the chair and then like different bones kind of across it. Decorative, you know what I mean?
They have bone throne, if you will.
A bone throne.
Now, I could get into a bone throne.
Me too.
That may be part of my aesthetic. Like a really elegant bone throne.
Only if I'm boning on that bone
Hey! Only if I'm throning on that throne, because I'm a queen.
Oh, shit. So, yeah, and then there's like just a skull at the top of it. And Just all different parts of the bones. A foot, a hand, skulls, a collection of skulls, hanging bones.
No.
A box of bones and skulls and bones.
Old box of bones.
That went on for a long time.
Got it.
And then finally we get her reaction and she's like blorf coughing. Like, yeah. And so she starts screaming, gets up, starts to run out and kind of like trips back into like the entry hallway next to the stairs. The metal door opens, Leatherface comes out. They're both kind of screaming. Like Leatherface is like, ah! And she's screaming.
Hold on. I'll scream like Leatherface. You scream like her. Ready? Oh!
And she runs out onto the porch. He comes out onto the porch, grabs her from behind, picks her up, carries her inside screaming.
Oh.
Just carries her into the doorway past our beautiful accent wall, which heads into the kitchen. And the kitchen has a couple just big, giant, like, you know, those big fisherman hook things.
Oh, I do.
Hanging from the ceiling. And so he just goes over and just takes her body and hangs it on up onto one of those fucking hooks.
Oh, while she's still alert?
Oh, yeah. She's screaming. She's screaming.
I don't want to be fish hooked.
Me neither.
At all.
And then
I also don't want to be sledgehammered. Like, so far, we are 2 for 2 of deaths I don't want.
I think I'd take sledgehammer, though, over fucking, ouch, back hook.
Yeah, back
just
hook
hanging
sucks.
from your own body weight back when you're through your back.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's a bummer.
Like, at least sledgehammer. And sledgehammer, it's like a mini sledgehammer. Does that make sense? Because it's a one-handed.
I think it's still a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
I think
it has the top of a sledgehammer, but it's small. It's a mini one-handed one.
No, I think sledgehammers have sizes.
Great.
For sure.
Good
I think
to
my
know.
dad had like several
Okay.
size
Well, this isn't a big like
sledgehammers.
two-hander guy. This is like
Right.
it's more useful. You know what I mean? It's easier to take around the house,
Yeah.
hit things.
One time, my dad got really excited because he got to buy a pickup truck. And he was really excited that it was like a car that was like a rough and tumble car. Like he didn't have to worry about it like getting scratched up. Because he
Right.
was going to take it to the dump. And he was
Yeah.
going to pick up this log and
Yeah.
turn it into wood. Like he was just real excited about his truck. And he was just like, come on out, kids. We were like, what? Oh, we like your truck. And he was like, here's a sledgehammer for you and a sledgehammer for you.
What?
Go crazy. He was like, you can only do it on the bed of
Yeah.
the truck and like
Yeah.
the side of the bed of the truck. And he
Yeah.
was like, go ahead. I think he knew like one, we were like small enough that we like weren't going to
Wouldn't
be able to.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to take a sledgehammer to Dad's truck and it was so
That's
fun.
fucking so fun.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Good job,
great.
Skip.
I know, it was great.
So fun.
Yeah.
I was like, my closest story to weird weapons is one of my brothers had apparently a machete like laying on his bedroom floor, but you know, he's a teenage boy and so had
Sure.
also clothes everywhere and almost cut his
Sure.
toe off.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Put away your machetes.
Seriously.
Clean up your room and hang up your machetes.
Don't know why any of that happened.
We did have a World War II samurai sword in the basement that we got in trouble for playing with.
Fun.
It's good.
So anyway, she's hanging on a hook. And in the center island of the kitchen is Shaggy's body just laying on the table.
Hi.
And then Leatherface goes over and picks up ring, 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 ring.
Beautiful.
The chainsaw.
Love it.
And then just goes ahead and takes it to Shaggy's body. And Pam's just hanging there screaming.
Fuck, she's still alive? This poor bitch.
Yeah, that shit's
damn
not
it.
going to kill you quickly.
Ugh, that sucks.
I know. That's why I'd take Sledgehammer any day.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So F. Who's F? Franklin.
Franklin.
Wow.
F, it's Franklin.
So cut to Franklin,
Yeah.
Jerry, and Sally.
Okay.
Wow, I just lost everyone's name. I was like, what the fuck is the J name? Cut to Franklin, Jerry, and Sally. They're all standing by the van in front of Grandpa's house and talking about the blood mark that's on the side of the van. And like Jerry's kind of like fucking with Franklin a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, he's you know, marking you or something, and he's like, the hitchhiker's like totally gonna come back for you or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Just busting his balls. But now the sun is kind of going down.
Okay. The moon is going down.
The moon is getting close to the horizon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gotta watch that shot again. Why did I think that was a moon? Anyway, so Franklin can't find his knife. And Sally's like, well, when's the last time you had it? And he's like, well, I gave it to you. You had it. So she goes in the van and looks around. And Jerry is like, okay, I'm going to go down and look at the creek before it gets too dark. Because they're like, where the fuck is Shaggy and Pam?
Right.
Sally wants to go, but Jerry's like, no, you stay here. So Jerry goes by himself.
Okay.
Sally and Franklin stay at the van. Sally can't find the knife. And now we have like some brother and sister talk. And Franklin's like, are you mad at me? And Sally's like, no, I just had like a long day. But she's clearly like kind of pissed.
Yeah.
We kind of cut to Jerry calling for like Shaggy and Pam and the fucking
Creek.
whatever. Well, the dry creek.
The dry creek.
Back to brother-sister talk. And Franklin's all like, do you believe like that stuff that Pam was talking about Saturn and things like that? And Sally's kind of like, I mean, everything means something, I guess. And Franklin's like scared that the hitchhiker is going to like follow them, basically. And Sally's just kind of sitting on the side of the van and just seems very unhappy.
Yeah.
I mean, her brother's Franklin, so.
Yeah, exactly.
She's
And her
like,
mom makes her take Franklin fucking everywhere.
And Franklin knows it because I think even in this talk, he's like, you didn't want me to come, did you? Or something.
Correct.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Cut to Jerry calling. The moon's on the horizon. And he sees a big white farmhouse.
I know this farmhouse.
And he starts to hear a generator noise.
Ugh.
And he goes up to the front porch and knocks on the door. And he's like, hello. Hi, I'm looking for my friends. Anybody home? And I was like, God damn, the 70s, you just really went and like got up in people's business.
Yeah, you got into their
Hello?
cars, went into their houses.
I'm looking for my friends. Is anyone here? I've got a, they're just,
Oh my
Up in it.
God. I'd be so fucking pissed if someone walked into my house. I'd be like, get out of here.
so now he sees the blanket hanging on the railing, the porch railing.
Oh, their blanket. Right. Mm-hmm.
Question number 7, what do you do? What does he do?
Oh, this fucking idiot walks in because this is what they do. No, I'm not walking in. I'm going back to the van and we're gonna drive to the local police station. Yay!
Double ding. He starts yelling for them, being like, and I think maybe he kind of hears some like noises inside. So he's like, is that you guys? Quit playing games. Quit playing around. Like, is that what you assume?
Yeah.
And so he
There was
opens
always like a lot of pranks and games in the 70s and
lot of
80s.
pranks in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. Like
According
I'm just
to horror movies, at least.
Yeah, I'm like, it's really fucking shit up, you guys. Quit it with the pranks.
Y'all are getting murdered left and right because
Yeah.
your damn pranks.
100.
Everyone thinks they're just playing a joke on him.
Yeah.
So he opens up the fucking door and he's like, come on, guys. Come on. Hello. And he walks towards the skull wall, and he starts to hear a sound, and then he goes into the kitchen, and no bodies, but sees like the hooks and things, and he hears like a noise, and it's like a pounding sort of thing.
Okay.
And there's a big freezer on one of the walls, like a
city freezer,
city
not like a
freezer,
standing
yes.
freezer. Yep.
That you keep in your garage
trunk-like
to store
type of freezer.
your extra meat from Sam's Club freezer.
Yeah. I got you.
Costco, whatever.
Yeah. Dad always had lots of frozen quiche in there.
Ooh, I love quiche.
Mm-hmm, me too.
So,
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
I mean, I really do love quiche, but yeah, it is interesting that that's what
I
you had
know.
in your
I heard it as soon
outdoor
as
storage.
I said it. I heard
You
it.
just had meat and icy popsicles. Just hundreds and thousands of icy popsicles.
Yeah. Ooh. Otter Pops.
Yeah, but we didn't call them that.
I never liked them.
I actually didn't that much either.
Yeah.
They're kind of
and they always like cut
watery.
the sides of my mouth. Like
Oh,
when
really?
yeah, I didn't like them. I don't like Otter Pops.
I never even heard the term Otter Pops, I think, until you.
Oh. Weird. What did you call them?
Ices.
Ices?
Yeah, that's like what they're like. Even the brand is. It's like ICE.
Oh. Okay. Anyway.
I think that's what we call. Or popsicle. We would just say popsicles, really, but
But you're talking about the ones that are in like a
a little plastic tube. Yeah.
Those are Otter Pops. A
Ices.
popsicle is on a wooden stick.
Yeah, I mean we call them all popsicles, but yeah, that's like an icy.
Okay. I don't know what you guys were doing in Philly.
Nothing compared to water ice. So
Water ice?
I love water ice.
It's Italian ice.
It's water ice.
We can't do this today. We can't do this today.
Can we agree that water ice
To
is
disagree.
better than snow cones?
Yes.
Okay, deal.
Yeah, great.
So he's in the kitchen.
Right.
I really forget this is happening sometimes, especially today, apparently.
I know.
We're doing a movie. We're doing a thing, Ketrin. Ketrin,
Yeah, I
we're
know, I'm
doing a
sorry.
thing.
I'm sorry.
Stop distracting me.
I'm sorry. All right, so it's
He's
the
in
city
kitchen.
freezer that you
There's
would
a big city freezer, and there appears to be a pounding coming from it.
Got it. Okay.
And so he goes over to it, opens it, laying inside looks like dead Pam, but then she sits up, and then Leatherface behind him smashes with the sledgehammer and puts Pam back in the freezer and closes the door.
Poor Pam. She's like, oh.
I think that was one of those like, I'm dead, but my body's the last chance at staying alive sort of thing.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like she was like alive.
She didn't lay back down and go, oh, shoot.
No. It was more like her body was just like, bloop. So,
Yeah.
anyway, smashes Jerry. Goodbye, Jerry. And then Leatherface is kind of screaming and looking around. He's like, Mind you, spoiler alert, Leatherface appears to be nonverbal.
Okay.
And he like runs up to the front and like looks out the window like next to the door. He seems very upset. And like, to be honest, in Leatherface's defense, like, strangers keep coming into his fucking house. He's like, every time I fucking go down to the goddamn kitchen, there's a new goddamn stranger in there. Like,
Yeah, from
that I gotta hit with-
Leatherface's perspective, this is the movie The Strangers. People just keep coming in.
Yes.
Like, he's like, oh, how many more people do I have to Leatherface today?
He's like, and here begins our thesis in defense of Leatherface.
Yeah. Great.
You hate mail. So, yeah, but he seems pretty upset. So he like sits down and he's just like looking out the window, and then he like sits and puts like head in hand sort of thing. But then we do see through his creepy leather skin face mask just kind of a gross teeth, tongue licking situation going on.
Yeah.
It wasn't nice.
Yeah.
But yeah. Cut to dark outside. Nighttime.
Night
Close up. Full moon. And that is the exact moment that I realized, oh, remember that last time I wrote full moon? That couldn't have been a full moon.
Right.
That was a full sun.
Guys, it's been a long time in quarantine. We don't go outside much.
I haven't seen the sun in 37 years. So we're at the van.
Yeah.
Sally's like sitting in the van and like turns the headlights on and is like honking and stuff. And they're all like, oh my gosh, our friends must be lost. Like they don't even have a flashlight or anything. Sally wants to go look for them. Franklin wants to go back to the gas station for help. Question number 8. What do you do? What do they decide to do?
First time in my life, I'm siding with Franklin. Let's go to the but I'm not going to go to the gas station. I'm going to go to the police station. Because at this point, it's like, I feel like it's legit weird. Like, it's not just, I know I'm in a horror movie weird.
Yeah.
It's legit weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to go to the police station. Okay, so Franklin wants to go to the gas station. And Sally wants to go look for them.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Sally strikes me as like, wow, this is tough. I don't know why. I feel like they go to the gas station.
Point for you.
What did I say I was doing? Oh, police station. Okay.
Yeah. Sally is like, I'm not leaving without Jerry, her boyfriend.
Okay.
And I think that's the exact moment that I realized his name was Jerry. And I was like, Jerry! And then she immediately was like, Jerry! Jerry! So, like, we were all screaming Jerry together.
Yeah. Good old Jerry.
So Franklin is sitting in his chair, and he has a flashlight with him, like in his chair. And Sally wants the flashlight so she can go look. And Franklin's like, no. He's like, I'm going to go like around to the truck, honk the horn some more. And he goes and looks, and he says, there's no keys. They took the keys because Jerry was the driver.
Fuck. God damn it.
Which, to be honest, with how much we've learned about hot wiring cars. Hot wiring?
Hot wiring, yeah.
I bet this one would have been easy to do.
I feel like older cars are much easier to do.
Well, it's only possible with older cars. That's the thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's what we learned.
I don't remember what
in
we
our
learned.
postmortem. We know how to start fires. We know how to start old cars.
Yeah.
We are experts for postmortem.
Jackies of all trade.
Until we forget it immediately. So he's like honking the horn again, and Sally's like, stop. And she's like, she's very upset. She's very dramatic. And in this moment, at least. And she grabs the flashlight, and she's like, I'm going to go look. And Franklin's like, okay, I'll go with you. So they go, and they're so now cut to them kind of looking, and like they're calling for Jerry, and now Sally's like pushing Franklin like through the brush and everything. Right. Franklin hears something, and Sally's like, I see light like up ahead. It's a house.
Oh no.
And so she's pushing more, and they're calling for Jerry, and there's like trees everywhere, just brush and dead everything. And Franklin's like, I hear something. Stop. Chainsaw. Leatherface right in front of them.
Oh no.
Chainsaws Franklin's body. Chaining him up. Chain. Like, it's literally like, because they can't see much, so it's just like the flashlight looking around, and so they're like looking all of a sudden right in front of them. He's just like ring. All up in Franklin's piece.
Does not fuck around.
No.
Like, he's not about any sort of like pregnant pauses or
No.
dramatic tension.
No.
Like, he's just like right to the chainsaw.
Gets to the point very quickly. Yeah. So Sally screams and
Sure.
runs away.
Yeah.
Just now she's like running and running and running, and Leatherface is following. This goes on for a very long time. At a certain point, she's going through like lots of branches. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing, like having to fight through branches. So Leatherface is behind her, just chainsawing through the branches. And she's running. He's chasing and chaining.
And chaining.
She's screaming her fucking face off. Like, and she gets to the house, but she gets to the back door. And she's like, the back door's locked. So she's like screaming for help. And she's like, help me. And it's a big white farmhouse. And she runs around to the front porch that we recognize and we've seen before. And she immediately runs right inside, closes the door, and locks the door.
Okay.
And she's screaming for help inside. So she runs up the wooden staircase. And behind her, Leatherface is just like, he forgot his keys. So he's just chainsawing through the wooden door. But seems to be doing it decoratively. I don't know.
Gosh darn it. I can't believe I locked myself out when I have all these home invaders coming in. Poor Leatherface.
Buddy. Yeah, he's making a cute design in that. When he's efficient with his kills, he's not so efficient with getting through this wooden door. Okay. So as Sally runs upstairs, directly ahead at the top of the steps is like big windows.
Okay.
And then you go to the hallway and there's a couple doorways. And so she goes into one of the rooms. She's crazed. Like she's like, oh my gosh, rightfully so.
Yeah, like I'm not actually even mad at her for like running up the stairs at this point, just because
she's like, hello, help me, please.
Right. Yeah.
So she runs into this room that's like pretty much empty, except down the end there's like two people sitting in chairs. Like one has we can only see the back of it.
Hate this.
And she like basically goes up to this man in a chair that looks dead. Like I was like, that's a dead man. And she's like, hello, can you help me? And it's just like an old wrinkly, I mean, he's dead. And then we turn and see a very dead lady.
Oh.
He had some skin on him still. She is a skeleton.
Oh, okay.
But both in their Sunday best.
Right.
And so then she's like, fuck!
Yeah.
And runs out of there and starts to run back downstairs. But right at that moment is when Leatherface comes in with the chainsaw. Mm-hmm. Question number 9. What do you do? What does she do?
I know for a fact that chainsaws will kill me. I know that unequivocally 100%.
Correct.
I don't know that jumping through these windows will kill me. It may, but there's a chance that it won't.
Yeah.
So I am going to, I guess I'll try and open them first. But I'm going out the window. What does Sally do? You said there were 2 rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like the dead people were only in one room.
We've only gone into one room so far, yeah.
Let's go see. She goes into the other room.
Point for you.
Yay!
She immediately turns around, runs upstairs, and straight through the window.
No!
Doesn't even skip a fucking beat.
Okay, queen. All right, well, now I know this Sally bitch. I love it.
Doesn't think about it. Doesn't stop for a second. Doesn't try to open them. She just Kool-Aid Man's right out of it at full fucking speed away from this fucking chainsaw. Like, yes, bitch. Yes, queen.
Let's get out of here.
Thank you.
Let's go.
I was here for it, but I truly was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I love it.
So
Nobody really hesitates in this movie.
No.
Everyone knows what they want to do and they do it.
They do. They've got clear objectives.
Yeah, we got fucking hitchhiker guy that's like, I want to slice my hand. Here I go. Everyone's just, clear objectives is right. Yeah.
So we should all be more like Texas Chainsaw Space people.
Yep.
So she falls on the ground. She's, hurt, but gets up. She's now kind of at like the back of the house, like the back door now. And Leatherface kind of like looks down the window at her and goes back inside to go downstairs and outside.
It's like Michael Myers just fell off he looks down. God, poor Leatherface.
Wait, what?
Well, like when Michael falls off the balcony and then they look down and then they look down again and he's gone. Michael Myers in Halloween. Like, I'm just seeing this all from Leatherface's perspective. Like, he's like,
well, Leatherface sees Sally and is like, I'm going to go downstairs and get her. She didn't disappear or anything.
I'm just drawing parallels that poor Leatherface is having a day.
He really is. But to be real, this one he chose. They didn't break into his home. Well, technically she did now, but
but he did go into the.
Yeah, he did first chainsaw her brother.
Right.
Out in the.
Though
land. Maybe that was his land.
Yeah, it was very dark. He doesn't know what's coming at him. He's just defending himself.
Maybe. So she immediately gets up and starts running like into the brush again, screaming her face off. And I was like, stop screaming, girl.
Yeah, shush. Yeah.
Leatherface follows with the chainsaw through the trees, running forever. This goes on for a very long time. She, at one point, like hits a tree and falls. And gets up, but Leatherface is like so close behind her. I was like, he's so close, keep running.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. You've done it twice, and I didn't call you out the first time, but it's really funny that you've said Leatherface incorrectly in the funniest ways, and it's cracking me up. So the first one, you said Leatherface, and I was like, oh, yes, the Church of Leatherface. And then this one, you said Leatherclace. I'm so sorry. I had to do it.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Church of Leatherface.
I believe in S and M. And
yeah.
Because I'm talking so quickly, my mouth doesn't move that fast.
I know. That's why I was like, I'll let her have it. But then it was Leatherclace, and I couldn't let it go.
So, because Leatherface was so close.
Oh.
That's why.
Yeah.
There's always a word written very closely after, and my brain melts them.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're running and chasing forever. She's screaming. She actually ends up getting to the fucking gas station.
Oh, okay.
And Leatherface is like right fucking behind her with his chainsaw. She grabs one door, that's locked, and she's like, help, help, help. And then she goes to a second door and runs inside. And this is kind of like gas station man is in there, and it appears to be, like the hangout room. Maybe he lives there. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
She runs in, like the entire like back of her shirt is like missing at that point. I think it got sliced open somehow. And gas station man is like shuts the door and is like trying to calm her, and she is like losing her mind, like
losing her mind.
Like she like can't really talk because she's just like, police killed, you know what I mean? Just like certain words are coming out, but she's like, call police. And gas station man like opens the door and like looks outside, and he's like, no one's there. And she keeps saying like police, and he's like, well, we don't have a phone here. And he's like, we can get, we have to like drive to wherever the fuck. So he's like, I'll go get my truck. And she's like, don't leave me. But he's like, it's, like the only way, know?
Yeah.
So he like goes out, leaves the fucking door open. Question number 10, Jesus. What do you do? What does she do?
Okay. So he goes out to his truck.
He goes out to like get his truck and like bring it so they can go to the police station, basically.
I'm going to like surgically attach myself to this man. Like I'm going to be like, hold my hand. I will come with you to your truck. Have we seen the keys? Like, did he grab the keys or like get the key? Like, Did you
I haven't seen them.
Okay, I think she stays in there freaking out, waiting. I am going to follow him to like, to like him getting the keys or whatever the fuck. And then I'm going to, once we get to the truck, like, Wilcrick, grab the keys, get in the car, and drive away without him.
Okay.
Don't question my process.
It's just that technically the question was, he left to go get the truck. What do you do? What does she do?
She stays in there crying, and I'm going to sneakily sneak behind him and steal the keys when we get to the truck and drive away.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you. I'll take your sure. It's a full sun today.
Fuck you. So yeah, Sally just sits there like
Freaking out.
unwell.
Yeah.
And stares at like the barbecue cooking
Sure.
or smoking, whatever the fuck barbecue does.
Yeah.
Just stares at meat for a long time. And of course the news is on in like the background and talks about like the cemetery tamperings and things like that. And we see out the doorway, the truck pulls up.
Mm-hmm.
And gas station man grabs like a blanket or something and like starts to like bring it in and then like pulls out some rope. And she's like, what?
What?
No. And
No.
she picks up like a knife that's like by the barbecue.
Nice.
And gas station man is like, oh no, it's okay. But then he like grabs a broom and like starts to hit her with the broom.
What?
She drops the knife and he's just hitting her with the broom and like eventually kind of like knocks her out. And he's like laughing and hitting her with the broom.
Oh no. But he was saying like, no, it's okay. But like hitting her with the broom?
At first, yeah.
What an asshole.
And ties, so she's passed out. And so he ties her hands behind her back.
Mm-hmm.
And then grabs a dirty old rag and puts that in her mouth and then ties that.
Yeah. Can you imagine what that rag was dirty with?
Lord. And the blanket turns out is like a big burp map, like a potato burp map.
Uh-huh.
And so he puts that over her head, which goes down to like her, kind of like waist or like thighs almost. Uh-huh. And then like drags her and puts her into like the truck in the passenger side kind of like floor area. And then gas station man gets in and then gets out, goes back to the place, turns the lights off and closes the door.
Oh, he's an economical fellow.
Comes back in and he's like, cost of electricity will kill a man these days,
Yeah. I don't know. I leave every light on I see.
She fucking does. This bitch. Oh my God, you guys, I can't even explain. We used to live together and I would be like, it's a flick of a switch. Just turn it off. If you're not in there, just like, I don't even think about turning on and off lights. Like, I'm just like, well, I'm leaving this room, light switch. I'm entering this room, light switch. It's a natural occurrence.
I only ever learned how to turn them on.
Yeah, she's only learned on switch. Used to drive me insane.
Kim and Eric have a support group about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a couple other things too.
Your secret support groups together.
The ripped off top of plastic cheese bags.
Yeah. No, he does not get.
Everywhere.
No, he doesn't get to be in that one. He doesn't get to be in the ripped off top of plastic bag club.
Spoons filled with peanut butter left for days without being soaked in anything.
Oh yeah, he can be in that club.
I don't know what else. Those are my main ones.
Yeah,
it's been a long time. I've let it go, clearly.
Yeah.
So, boop, boop, boop. He starts driving. And now Sally's kind of like moaning a little bit, like in the fucking floor.
Oh,
of the
because
truck
she
or
was
whatever.
knocked out.
She was knocked out.
Yeah,
but now
yeah,
she's
okay.
kind of like
Coming to.
And gas station man now just has like the broom handle basically. And we just hear like, we never like kind of see her down there. We just see like him driving and we hear like muffled screams. And he's like, nothing to worry about. We'll be there soon. And then starts poking at her with the fucking broom handle.
Quit poking at me.
And like laughing and stuff. And like, she's kind of like, and he just keeps poking her. What the fuck? Like, I was like, quit poking me, man.
Yeah, just at least just murder me. Don't poke me
With
too.
a broom handle.
Rude.
So anyway, he's driving and turns into like big long driveway, and we see ahead of him on the road hitchhiker. And
Our hitchhiker?
Our hitchhiker. And gas station man is like, you half-wit. And hitchhiker man is all like dancing
blowing
and happy,
raspberries.
being fucking hitchhiker man. You know him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so gas station man stops the truck, fucking gets out, starts hitting hitchhiker with the broom.
So he's
And
just
he's
an
like,
indiscriminate hitter.
You idiot. You almost got caught. I told you not to go down there. And hitchhiker's like, no, nothing. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. And gas stations, man, I told you to stay away from that graveyard. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay.
And then gas station man gets back in the truck, starts driving, and hitchhiker kind of like jumps on the back pickup part. And they pull up to our white farmhouse.
Crap.
And gas station man is like, they stop and get out, and he's like yelling at hitchhiker, being like, I told you not to leave your brother alone. Like, get that girl out of there. And they drag Sally inside, and she's all like moaning and screaming. So they bring her inside, and Leatherface is in there. And then gas station man starts hitting Leatherface with the broom handle.
Poor Leatherface.
And hitchhiker takes Sally to a chair, and ties her to a chair, but like the arm handles are arms.
No.
You know,
She's got arms on arms?
arms on arms.
Oh,
She's
no.
like getting tied to arm on arm, skin on skin contact
man.
there. Oof.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Blorf.
Yeah.
So yeah, he ties her to a chair, takes off the burps map, and she sees that it's hitchhiker. And
she's
starts
like, bummer.
freaking out. And she's just like,
Yeah. So literally this whole movie doesn't happen because I didn't pick that motherfucker up. If we just kept driving. Oh, no, I guess we'd still have to go to the gas station. We'd still have to go to the gas station.
I mean, you might
maybe.
go to the gas station. You still went to the house and then went to the other
That's
house.
true. That's true. That's true.
So,
Yeah.
hard to say, to be honest.
Yeah.
So she's just freaking out. And, like, of course, there's, like, a fucking skeleton hanging next to her that's, like, a lamp.
Well, of course.
And Leatherface is, like, mumbling kind of to, like, gas station man. Like, he's like, you didn't let those kids get away, did you? And, like, Leatherface is all like, like, kind of trying to say things like, no. And gas station man tells hitchhiker, hey, go upstairs and get grandpa.
What?
And gas station man says to Sally, like, take it easy. It's fine. We're going to have supper soon. So she's just sitting there, and upstairs we hear, like, furniture moving and, like, noises and stuff like that. And hitchhiker's like, hey, Leatherface. He actually calls him Leatherface.
Oh, okay.
So that's his
God-given name.
Yeah. So he's like, he needs help with grandpa. So they carry down a chair with the dead man in it. Like, I was like,
Right. Okay.
and they sit grandpa right in front of Sally. And
God.
there's weird animal pig noises again, which I think might be coming from Leatherface. I'm not totally sure.
Okay.
Because he does a lot of just sound work. And
A lot of sound work.
grandpa is like, he's also a Leatherface, but it's his own face, if that makes sense.
What?
Like, he's like yellowish and like dry and like wallpaper skin. I don't even know.
Well, he's decomposing, no?
No. He just looks, well,
Is he?
doesn't look-
This is the
he
dead
doesn't
man.
look decomposing. He just looks like maybe new, just no, it doesn't look like he's falling apart.
Okay.
He just looks like dry old leather
Face.
Yeah, so they're related.
God.
This is Grandpa.
Yeah. I don't even know why I asked.
So
The
then,
genes are strong in this family.
and then Hitchhiker takes Sally's hand, like cuts her hand free. And then Hitchhiker grabs her from behind and holds his knife against her throat.
Okay.
And Leatherface takes her finger and cuts her finger and then puts her finger into Grandpa's mouth. And then this apparently not dead man starts sucking the blood on it of her finger. And I was like, no.
Sorry, guys.
No.
We did 121 episodes. I'm out. Goodbye. I don't know why that was it, but it was it for me. See you later.
Sucking the blood off her finger and then is like very happy about it. Like
He's
kind
very
of
happy about
does
it.
a little,
He's really
little
Grandpa's
dead
real
man
happy.
dance
A
in
little
his
dead
chair.
man dance. Mhm. He loves a good finger suck.
He
I
loves
hate this.
it. And
Talk about 100-year-old
I was
babies.
like, couldn't believe it. I was like, what? And
I'm
then
so upset.
Sally is also the same level upset, so she passes out.
Oh yeah, 100. That's. I mean,
Rightfully
my brain would
so.
just shut off.
Like, I was
Like,
this dead man is now sucking the blood out of my finger.
yeah, I did not know that was my limit, but there it is.
Well, cut to Sally starting to come to.
Sure.
She appears to be at the head of a dinner table
Okay.
with a little bit of a gorgeous plate of barbecue in front of her.
Right.
Grandpa appears to be at the other end, across from her.
He's full. He's had his finger blood.
Yeah, I don't know that he has any barbecue. I don't think he has teeth. I mean, who goddamn knows?
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like that iconic photo of them all sitting at the table looking at her. So on the left, closest to her, is Hitchhiker. Next to him is Gas Station Man. Grandpa's at the head. And then Leatherface is on the right, and he's got his fancy face on. So he's got a little bit of lipstick action, a little blue eyeshadow, a kind of bigger hair kind of going on.
Oh my God, look at you, Queen.
Yeah. Kind of fancier suit situation.
Love it. He's feeling himself. He had a big day.
Yeah. And so she, of course, so at this point, she's tied to the chair, but she doesn't have a gag in. So she immediately starts screaming.
Yeah.
And then Hitchhiker and Leatherface kind of just start screaming and like howling with her. So she's just like, and they're like, ooh, ooh.
That's rude.
Having the best time. They're
It's
just
so
like,
rude.
yeah, girl, let's party, barbecue, dinner.
God.
And Gas Station Man is like, hey, be quiet. And Sally starts her first tactic where she's kind of like, I think talking to Gas Station Man, I could gather where she's a little bit like, please, like you can make them stop, like you can make them stop because, maybe
he's
she
the
thinks
boss.
he's the one she can maybe get through to, or seems the least insane.
Mm-hmm.
And now Leatherface gets up and is like getting all close to her, and like Hitchhiker's like in her face, and they start like touching her hair and her face and stuff, and she's like losing her mind, just screaming her face off like fucking crazy. And Hitchhiker is like basically saying that like he's like, well, Gas Station Man is like just the cook anyway. Like me and Leatherface are the ones who do all the work.
Okay.
That really pisses off Gas Station Man
Sure.
/ his dad, I believe. And they start kind of like bickering with each other. And Gas Station Man is just like, it just doesn't please me to be a killer or something like that.
It doesn't? Well, then why don't you end it now?
But he sure
Stop
does
being a
like
killer today.
cooking that barbecue meat, though.
Okay.
And so now Sally's just like, please, like begging, like, please, 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 please. And then Hitchhiker starts like mocking her. And Sally's she tries to get through to gas station man. Then she begs. And now she's like, I'll do anything you want. Tactic.
Okay. All right. She's like, Grandpa, do you want another finger? Would you like a finger, Grandpa?
But they don't care.
They don't fall for it.
They don't want any of her shenanigans.
Sure.
So she just keeps crying and screaming. And now it's like many, many shots of just very close up of like the most gorgeous green eyes.
Oh.
And then like cut back and forth between like the guys at the table just laughing and like pig noises. And she's just like and crying and sweating and the most gorgeous green eyes. So Sally Hardesty is played by my aunt, Marilyn Burns.
No shit.
Not my aunt.
Oh,
but
yeah.
She is like fucking, I don't know where I want to talk about this, but like, honestly, I was like, she is like the ultimate scream queen in the definition of like scream queen, because this bitch screams for like the entire last 20 minutes of this movie. Nonstop.
Her voice must have hurt so
and
bad,
like
honestly.
Rightfully so. Like it's not even like uncalled for screaming or feeling. Like it's just like I was like, Aunt Marilyn, get it, girl. Like,
also, am I right to say that she's a pretty good actress?
She was. I thought she did a good job. There was one or two points where I was like, it feels over dramatic. Or like,
I can tell when you describe someone. I can tell if I
think they are or not.
Yeah. And so as you're describing it, I was like, I think she sounds like she's like putting in a performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to other horror movies we've watched where,
especially in like the 70s or 80s, sometimes like they're like, yeah, just like
you're like cast for your nipples, not for your your acting.
Yeah. And she was cast for both.
Cool.
But she there's definitely parts in the middle where I was like, the character feels over dramatic right now, which could have been maybe directing, maybe her, like it could go either way, you know what I mean?
Editing, yeah,
who knows. Seemed like a bit much, but at least for like high intensity times,
she's killing it.
Love it. So she's just crying and screaming. I am not fucking joking. The entire like last quarter of this entire fucking movie.
Wow.
Screaming. And I was just like, good Lord, girl. Like, I don't think that, I mean, I have a quarantine goldfish brain, but like, I can't think of another horror movie where someone screams like actually this much, to be honest.
I mean, I didn't watch it, but yeah, it's more like bursts of a scream.
Yeah. So just to be like screaming like the entire time, and for that to really work, like yeah. I mean, she's in extreme circumstances.
Yeah, like, this truly sucks.
Insane people.
Yeah,
and she and it's you know what else it is too? It's because like she's already there. Like there was that one time where she was like running away screaming, where I was like, bitch, be quiet. So there's a lot of that where you're like, don't scream, and people
don't scream now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like for this, she's like, I'm fucking here and I'm tied up. Like all I can do is scream.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I loved it. I was here for it. And considering when this is, I feel like she's like just like the OG top dog scream queen. I don't know. Am I saying that? Am I saying that, Sally Hardesty?
You are saying it. You're doing it.
I can't wait to hear what the Sammys yell at me.
Yeah.
Look, I haven't seen every movie, okay? Get off my back! All I'm saying is I'm fucking here for Sally Hardesty, and not just because she's my aunt. And
right.
So anyway, gorgeous green eyes. So many close-ups of just like we get closer and closer to her, like inside her eyeball.
Her iris.
Screaming. Gas station man is like, okay, get on with it. Like, kind of yells at the boys, and is like, stop torturing her. Like, get on with it, And Hitchhiker has a great idea. Well, first off, he yells again at gas station man, where he's just like, you're the cook, like, blah, blah, blah. And he has a great idea and is like, I know, why don't we let Grandpa have some fun? Because he's the best. And she's screaming, close-ups of screaming. And, like, isn't he the best, gas station man? And gas station man says, Grandpa was the best killer there ever was.
Oh, God.
Never had to hit him more than one hit. Killed 60 in 5 minutes at one point in time. Talking about, like, the slaughterhouse kill.
Yeah.
And so Hitchhiker unties Sally and, like, drags her to the floor in front of Grandpa's chair. And screaming the entire time. Just assume the way that the news report was happening in the background of the first 5 minutes.
This is just happening
It's
over
just
the background.
Screaming happening.
Okay.
And they pull out like a big bucket and put it in front of Grandpa's chair. And then Hitchhiker kneels her down and like holds her hands behind her back, and they kind of bend her over so her head is like above this bucket. To catch the blood. They like to keep it clean.
Sure.
Rude. So, and then Leatherface keeps giving Grandpa the sledgehammer, and they're all like, hit her, Grandpa, but like, Grandpa keeps dropping it, because I'm like, you guys,
he's dead.
Grandpa is dead. Stop it. And they're like, hit her, Grandpa, hit her. So it's like, he puts it in his hand, he drops it, he puts it in his hand, he drops it. And they're like, hit her. And they're like fucking trying to like Weekend at Bernie's this fucking murder right now. Like, that's like, he's dead, you guys. I know it's tough. It's tough to face the facts sometimes, but like,
yeah, he is crossed over.
Not a living person. So like,
but he did suck her finger.
He did. Yes? I think technically, legally, he is alive.
Legally,
but like
in a court of law, like, we would call him alive.
This man, like, I cannot express to you how dead he is, though. Looks dead, acts dead, can't hold a fucking hammer to save his goddamn life. Like, he literally, like, he doesn't even lift his arms. Like, it's literally just like Leatherface keeps trying. Like, it happens like 6 times.
That's some comedy there. That's funny.
And he just keeps dropping the sledgehammer. And at one point, he does get kind of a hit in, or it just happens to fall on her head. I'm not really sure.
Right.
And they're like, they got her little one. But finally, Hitchhiker is like, give it to me. I'll kill her. Give it to me. So he lets go and grabs the hammer. Question 11, what do you do? What does she do?
Okay. So I'm kneeling over a bucket. Mm-hmm. Grandpa's in a chair, like the bucket is between me and Grandpa?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, sorry, something in my eye. Hitchhiker is where?
So he was behind you, but now he let you go and came and like goes next to Grandpa to like get the hammer from him.
Okay. And where's Leatherface?
Behind Grandpa, trying to.
Okay. And where's Gas Station?
Sure. Gas Station man, I think, went into the kitchen. He's got to cook, you know.
Yeah. Interesting. My hands are tied behind my back. No, they're not?
He untied you from the chair and then was holding your hands behind your back.
But now he's let my hands go. They seem to really like Grandpa. So I think what I'm going to do is real quick take the bucket and like swing it at Grandpa's head so he like falls over. Because he's dead. It's probably not going to be hard to knock him over. And they're going to be like, Grandpa! ha, and then I'm going to run for it.
If he wasn't dead, that surely will throw him over the edge.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. So there is a period of time where the sledgehammer is on the floor and my hands are untied or unwhatevered. And, okay, you see where I'm going with this. She grabs the sledgehammer, and I think she's Sledgehammer's grandpa.
Point for you.
Okay.
Sally gets up, turns around, runs out of a window.
No! Bitch can fly.
Without fucking thinking. And this time we were on the first floor. So
yeah,
not as bad, but she's hurt. Now she gets up and she's like bloody everywhere. She has crazy eyes. Now she starts limping down the long driveway towards the road.
Sure.
At this point, it's starting to be like
the moon is rising to be morning.
The moon is rising. It's starting to be daytime.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to rewatch it back and take a picture for you.
Yeah.
If I could get Shutter to work on my Fire Stick.
Oh, Shutter.
So anyway, she's limping down the driveway. Hitchhiker comes running out the front door and runs after her. Then we hear ring, 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 ring. Fucking Leatherface comes out in his Sunday best, a full fucking like black suit situation.
Sure.
Sally's limping down the thing. Hitchhiker's kind of dance running behind her like he does.
Oh my God, these fucking assholes.
Like he's basically on top of her. He's like touching her pretty much, but still kind of just dancing around her a little bit. And she ends up like getting to the road and she sees a big giant like chicken truck coming. Okay. And it honks because it's like, get out of the fucking way. And he's now like, Hitchhiker is like on her. They're kind of like in the fucking road together.
Okay.
And it's like, honk, honk. And she like runs to the side and Hitchhiker man gets hit by the fucking truck.
Yay!
Kersplash. Everywhere.
Kersplash. I love it.
So the truck now pulls to the side of the road. The driver gets out and here's Leatherface with a fucking chainsaw in the air.
No.
And so driver and Sally both get inside the truck. Sally goes first. And then Leatherface once again starts just like chaining the door a bit.
He's okay.
I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah.
And this I don't understand at all. Maybe hitting Hitchhiker broke the truck somehow, but like what happens next is Sally and driver just get out on the other side of the truck. Like I was like, drive away, drive away. What are you doing?
Drive away.
So yeah, she like hops out the other side of the cab. Driver grabs a wrench real quick and follows her out. So Leatherface runs around the front of the truck and starts chasing after them. So they're running down the road.
Yeah.
Sally first, driver second, Leatherface third. The driver stops at one point, throws the wrench at Leatherface. He falls back, and then the chain falls like on his leg and starts to cut his leg a little bit.
Oh,
and he's like,
shit.
ah! And then Leatherface gets up, and now we see from the other direction a pickup truck is coming. So Sally's like waving it down. She's now like completely covered in blood after the Kersplash of Hitchhiker.
Right.
Still limping. That truck kind of like pulls a little bit over, but like makes a U-turn real quick. So Sally runs up to it. Leatherface is now chasing after her. She tries to climb on the side of the fucking pickup truck. Like she's basically where the wheel is. So she's like fumbling getting in. And I was like, get in. And Leatherface is like right behind her. And I was like, get in the truck, get in the truck. So she like finally gets in. The truck starts driving. So Leatherface is now like chasing after the truck, like right behind it with the chainsaw. But once they get like further and further away, Sally is now just like sitting in the back of the truck, like all pushed up against the
I've seen
the
this
window.
picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this iconic picture of like her just covered in blood and and then it's like back to Leatherface who's like holding the chainsaw and back to her and she's just like hysterical. Again, great job. Like she's literally like like
That was pretty good, Kim.
like she is just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I thought she did a great job.
I mean, that's really realistic.
It's
Like,
really realistic because nothing about what just happened like can make sense in your brain
right.
by any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Also, everyone you know and love like just died.
You're literally like an animal at that point.
Yeah.
Where your only instinct. Like you just, that's it.
So she was like, so it's like her in the truck covered in blood, and then back to Leatherface, who does like a chainsaw dance basically in his suit. Ring, ring, as the moon rises. Ring, ring, ring.
Wow.
Cut to black.
I have a request, Kim.
Yes.
If you were to ever do a striptease of some kind or a pole dance, okay? I think your shtick should be dressed as Leatherface dancing in the street with a chainsaw as the moon
Honestly,
rises.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think it's clap. Very nice job, Kim Burns.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Really
Thank you.
beautiful.
Honestly,
Really beautiful.
it was so much fun.
Can I ask one question? Because it doesn't matter, but I think I misunderstood it. When truck guy threw the wrench, what I thought you said was that he threw the wrench, it hit Leatherface. Leatherface dropped the chainsaw, and the chainsaw cut Leatherface's leg.
It did. It didn't like slice through. It didn't like cut his leg off.
Okay.
It just like cut into his thigh.
Okay. And so where was the truck driver now?
Nobody knows.
He just disappeared up into smoke. Okay.
I don't know. I hope he made it out alive, but
He was a ghost.
I
don't think
can't
he
be
did.
sure.
Yeah, Leatherface is going to turn right the hell around and be like, oh, well, at least I got this guy.
I mean, he seemed very focused on his interpretive dance.
Sure. That's
But,
true.
You know, he has a lot of feelings, so I guess he had to do that first.
Right. Poor guy, honestly. Poor
It was
Leatherface.
beautiful. Beautiful both last scenes.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Lot
Lot
of
my
feelings.
points.
Lot of feelings.
Hey, Sammies! So, as you've heard, we have a Patreon and we have some amazing BoneCon happening over there. That's bonus content. BoneCon all the time. We are constantly updating our benefits and we would love for you guys to come hang out with us over there. And we actually have some deals going on right now if you join soon.
Join for an annual membership by the end of 2020 and you'll get 2 months free.
So, Sammies, what are you waiting for? Come on. Come over to Patreon. We're all hanging out. Goodbye.
We're all gonna stay alive.
Okay. For your dead or alive. For your dead or alives.
Uh-huh.
You know what happened there, right?
You dead out of alives. Yep. Uh-huh.
Wow. My brain. Too fast.
Yeah, your brain is just real quick.
For your dead or alives, you got 4 out of 9. For those scoring at home, I did count Grandpa as alive because I think legally he was.
Legally, he's alive, yeah.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
It's just dead. Stop. Can we stop trying to bring back Fetch as the new? Can we stop trying to pretend that Grandpa's alive? That bitch is dead. For your questions, you got 14.5 out of 22 for a total of 18.5 out of 31.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Where was I? I feel like yeah. I felt more confident in my questions, but when did I guess I didn't get her a lot.
I think that's what it was, yeah. Because sometimes you would even say what you would do was what they ended up doing.
Yeah,
but
like
you would say
I
they would
jumped
do
out a
something
window.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to watch it though, just for the unsuspense of everyone just going after what they want.
I
her
love
jumping
it.
out that window. I was like, oh fuck.
It's I love it. Like, and that's
It was so
also
great.
something that you don't really see. And like the lack of hesitation from the killer is also really fun to me. Like,
Yeah.
where he's just like, no, I'm chainsawing you. Like,
Yeah,
there's
no, people get hit
There's no, like, suspenseful music. Like, we don't have time. Like,
real
I'm chainsawing
quick.
you.
Real quick. There's just a lot of knock, knock, hello, anybody home, but then you're dead. Like,
You're dead.
That's it.
Yeah. I you gotta respect it, honestly. I'm
And for
impressed.
my Aunt Marilyn's performance, I am here for some Sally Hardesty.
I love it.
Obviously, Jamie Lee Curtis is a queen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We all
of
love
course.
her. But, and I think she's like probably the ultimate final girl.
Mm-hmm.
And Sally Hardesty is obviously a final girl.
Scream
But like
queen.
Scream Queen, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I think
Yeah.
I gotta give it to Sally.
I don't think anyone would fight you on that.
Like,
don't think-
just for the pure, I mean, you know, we always like can't help but see things as if we were really acting inside of them. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So like,
Yes.
truly, the amount that this bitch screamed was very impressive
Yeah.
and believably screamed.
Yeah.
Like, upset.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
love
oh my
it.
gosh, it was so much fun.
So I think I must have at some point seen the Jessica Biel one.
I wonder if that's what it is. Now I need to go watch that one back. And
Yeah.
see what the
So
fuck
was
I think
Jessica
I've seen.
Biel Sally Hardesty?
I think so. Yeah.
Do we think? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it clearly didn't. I wonder what I was doing that it just like, I literally only remember Jessica Biel's outfit. Like, I don't remember anything else
Because
about it.
That one came out during a time that like we were alive. So
Yeah.
So that's probably why
Like, did we
It's
watch it
more
in
in
our
our
apartment
world.
on Ogden?
that came out in 2003, and she's definitely wearing a fucking tank top tied in the front. Like, you nailed that.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So no, we must have watched it in college. Interesting. I don't know.
And then Jonathan Tucker's in that, who I fucking love. He's like one of my favorite actors.
Cool.
So yeah,
And then Matthew McConaughey's in a totally separate one.
yeah, that's like that's its own whole thing.
Other thing.
We could postmortem it or something. Cause and
Yeah, I'm pretty curious.
fucking who's he? What's it is in that? Renee Zellweger.
No shit. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that was Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation in
Next
1995.
Oh. Weird.
Yeah, so I think there's a whole mishmash of these that like we may
Yeah.
or may not have seen different versions of it.
Yeah.
But-
or maybe, maybe we saw the beginning of one, the middle of another.
It's hard to fucking say. Or we saw entirely this one and our brains
Yeah.
were goldfish. So
We were just so drunk. Who could know what we were watching or doing?
no, but this was so much fun. Birthday gift to myself, just
I
to
know,
be
you
able
did
to
a
tell
great-
it to you because I was so excited. Those are my favorites when I watch something and I'm like, I can't wait to tell this to Catherine.
Yeah. Oh my God, you did a great fucking job. Okay. So goodbye. We have please come to our show. It's in 3 days from the time that your earballs are hearing this.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yep.
Yeah. It's $12 on 12/12 unless you're a patron, and then it's $6 unless you're a Laurie Strode, and then it's free. So come watch. It's going to be really fun and funny.
Be so much fun. We're going to do holiday tales, most likely from Tales from the Dark Side and Monsters.
Correct. Yes. And then we'll let you know more details about our New Year's Eve party.
Yeah. Other than that, if you could, do the thing, write us a review, preferably a 5-star one. Share us with friends. And,
Yeah, share us with
Follow
friends.
us on social media at KKSAM Podcast.
And join our Facebook group.
Oh, our Facebook. Oh, fuck, I love our Facebook group.
Me too. I really love our Facebook
Please
group.
join that. So much fun. And come hang out with us. And my brain's mush. I think that's it. We've got merch. We've got a
that's it.
Patreon. Do the things. It's in the
Yeah.
show notes. We love you all so much. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, this has been Kim and Kat Stay Alive.
Maybe.
So until next week,
Stay alive.
stay alive!
Just gets better and better.